the fucking paper bag. No.
Boom! We're off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy, fresh off of a shopping spree at Jululemon. It's Zach Elias. What's up, buddy?
It's just this is chaos ensued before this. Absolute bedlam in my bedroom. So yeah, I'm all fatutzt. Alan's sitting there dying, listening to me and Jenna. Just 30 years of marriage, and that's how they talk to each other. You say he's never heard her curse before.
I've always wondered what happens backstage before a show. Like, do you sit there? Do you do nothing? If people had the opportunity to see what Zach and I are talking about, but he knocks a beer over, his sweet wife is screaming bloody murder, and I actually
I'm
froze.
yelling, we need a towel. We need it because it fell, yet it didn't break. I'll give the game away. So I'm drinking an Amstel Light because I wasn't prepared for today anyway. This is what it looks like currently. I'm going to have 1.5 of these. This is after about 7 minutes of it calming down. The cap didn't go off, and it just slowly started going out, and then the floodgates open. And it's like, get a towel, have another speed, let's go. And she comes in with a dish towel, the smallest thing. I go, no, we need like a beach towel here. This thing is like a science experiment overflowing like a volcano. And hilarity ensued from there. Now my room smells like beechwood aged. There's a towel down below my feet. The whole thing is chaos. Hops.
Booze Your Day, the podcast. Tuesdays we do it live. Saturdays we post it later. We appreciate people jumping in, seeing the best of us right now because I'm running on fumes and Zach's just an asshole all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we got a fun one for everybody today. Zach's already given up the ghost with his shaking up Amstel. Like, you're going to open that like you won Game 7 of the World Series, right?
He's the goggles, like Big Papi.
Do you remember when they did a celebration for Josh Hamilton without the booze, then with the booze because he was an alkie?
He had his problems. Still does.
Zach, you already told everybody what you are drinking, so I'm just going to go ahead and take the lead from the Southern Tier Brewing Company Nhez Hazy Smooth IPA. I think this has a lot of alcohol, 6%. Feel the haze. This is the last thing from my baby shower. So the last of the last. Release a Kraken. Cheers.
Crap, did this actually break? I don't know. We're figuring this thing out as we go.
Little glass in the colon never hurt anybody.
Not in the colon, it's in the schmeckle. These things happen.
Zach, I'm not sure.
Twice last week playing softball while playing catcher for one inning. Boom. Boom. Right.
Not sure how today's episode's going to go. Calling this one. I really only, this show is slowly morphing. I don't know if you're feeling this, right? But we used to have like this 20-minute topic, then we'd squeeze in some Pishadoos, and then there'd be trivia. Well, the trivia hasn't been happening. The topics haven't been happening. Now we just talk about the ridiculous shit that happens during the week, which is kind of taking over the show. I don't hate it unless something else jumps to the top.
I want to talk the Wagner group because I'm balls deep into them. I love these guys.
I think we're going to get to that, but calling this one episode 186, Musk versus Zuck. Zach, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody what that means?
Which one of these are you? It's Elon versus Zuckerberg.
Elaborate.
Two rich guys who didn't die in a submarine. Go on. They're fighting that. They fight. I don't know. They're two richest blowhards around.
Okay, I don't know how much of this makes it to mainstream or because it's across two of my platforms, right? I have the Twitter sphere and the MMA sphere. Are you aware?
You and the rewatchables. That's about it. Me and Bill Simmons.
Are you aware that the two of them are at least in verbal agreement to have a fist fight at this point?
I've heard that. Musk is going to kill him. Musk has got like 60 pounds on him.
Oh my God. I love it. I love it. What are we betting on this? This is where I wanted to go with this.
You think Zuckerberg wins?
Okay. Musk is bigger and longer.
He's not going to get technical. He's a little Jewish guy. It's going to be a bloodbath.
I'm pretty sure we talked about this on air. You know he trains BJJJJ and he spars.
Who does?
This is Zuckerberg.
Really?
He competes in no-gi.
He's like you. He married an Asian girl. He's had a kid.
Okay.
He competes
this is exactly what I wanted from this conversation.
Like Schwanz out? That's how he competes?
I've been talking to people about this all week, and they say, well, you never know what's going to happen and this and that. And then the first argument I always make when it comes to betting is first bet, it's not going to happen. Right? Like
Of course,
there's
it's not going to happen.
Although Dana White did say, because UFC 300 is coming up, and he goes, I will put them on the card 100%. Which, in what sport can you do that? Be like, yeah, NFL, if they said they want to play quarterback, do you think the NFL would let them take snaps?
No, that's actually a good call.
I mean, Billy Crystal got the hit in preseason, right?
He was killed. Yeah. You see him for third base?
With something like this that's happening, where you could the two of these guys have such big egos, that's the only thing in the world that makes me go, maybe it could happen. But as somebody who follows a sport and trains, Zach, this fight lasts 30 seconds, maybe 45 tops.
And
Zuckerberg takes him down and chokes the life out of him in 45 seconds.
Really?
It's not even a fair. Now, Musk has also picked fights with Bezos right now. That's a fight I'd pay a lot of money to see. But the Zuckerberg thing, it's not going to happen.
He's really good?
No, he's good. He competes, which is one class more than Musk has ever done. It's the same thing like me versus you. It's not even a fair fight.
I'll bite you in the ankles.
You'd be eating a knee really fast.
You'd
be surprised. Somebody who's never trained, they're a turtle on their back. Like, it just... Go back and watch UFC 1 when you had big wrestlers and then some little pipsqueak Brazilian guy, and it was like a boa constrictor.
Just mow him down.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So that was the biggest story of the week, which I didn't know if the world knows about this, but this is Floyd Mayweather versus McGregor. Take my money. I can't wait to watch this fight if it happens.
That's your biggest story.
That's my biggest one. I have many other things to talk to. Do you want to take the lead? Because I have a lot of stuff to ask you about.
Ask me. We'll get to my quirky later. But I'm balls deep in the Wagner group. I saw this story out of nowhere, and I'm like, okay. 4 hours later, I'm just riveted. You can't get enough of these guys.
I've listened to reports. I still don't get it. Can you give me the 3-sentence, I'm 8 years old?
Absolutely. These guys are mercenaries for hire that helped take Crimea and other stuff. Then, he was Putin's chef. And then they're unstoppable force. Apparently, they just roll through wherever they go, and just either people capitulate or they die. And because they weren't getting enough love or play or food or money or whatever it was, they said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go kill my employer. Turn the shit around and started marching up to Moscow and became 120 miles out. And then a peace treaty was brokered because these guys are that amazing. They're just commandos for hire. They were marching. They turned the shit around and started marching.
What do they think was going to happen when they got to Moscow?
They were going to win.
No, they weren't.
They don't lose. They don't lose. He's they don't lose.
I'm curious on your thoughts because
these guys don't mess around. They brokered a deal so they didn't get there.
Your New York Jets have officially been named Hard Knocks 2023 preseason, or whatever you call the one before the season, because the midseason one I find much better. Are 0 to 10. 0 is I'm not going to watch, and 10 is break out the Lubriderm.
I'm an 8 because it's the Jets. So I don't watch Hard Knocks. I've seen a few of them, but let's go get a goddamn snack. It gets me every time. So is Rex Ryan going to be there? Because he was fantastic.
I think Salah's going to be good. I'm excited for some Salah.
I would almost rather see Hard Knocks on the Mets right now, because that thing is bad news. Steve Cohen's holding a personal press conference tomorrow to tell us, I don't know what. He might be firing Buck publicly, but honestly, as bad as Buck's been, it's not even his fault. The team just sucks. He's not going to make Lindor hit. He's not going to make McNeil not be over 30. What's this? Yeah, tomorrow.
I'm pretty worried because tomorrow at 8 a.m., I also have a press conference with my supervisor. It's a company-wide thing, which, quote, it will be short, but not bad news. That's what we were told.
It's a group Zoom. Well, maybe the good news for them, their bottom line is going up by firing all of you. I had to do a goddamn photo shoot today. A suit and the managers. I hate having my picture taken. I would hate being a model.
Because you're ugly.
Yeah, maybe. But you're quite the Adonis over there. Please. God. I hate having my pictures taken. The whole thing is just stupid. Pose like this, do that. Fake smile. Co-workers, you all like each other. God.
Do you remember at my wedding how the photographer got people to smile? I don't know if you were any relevant pictures,
Yeah, he
but
told
he
us
would.
that you looked like Adam Silver on his worst day, and we all laughed.
Really? He said that? No, he didn't.
No, he didn't say that. I just said that.
That was really good though. He would do this. The photographer would pick the thing up and he would look in it and then he'd look around and go, ha ha, and then get back down.
Did he give a? I don't remember. Did he give a? Aha! Did he give one of those?
No, because it was in Mexico, not in Iran.
That's not Iran. That's coming to America. Aha! Iran.
Both of the podcasts that I really love for sports, Colin and this other guy, did a whole opening rant how Hard Knocks is not relevant. I got news for you, man. The production's good enough. I like to learn about the teams. I know it's not inside information because the way they explain it is if you want this type of production, just go on the team's websites. They have all this information. But guess what? I'm not going on the team's website.
Is it still shticky like it was when the Jets didn't last go around?
No, they don't do the cuts. They don't give you the production. They don't give you the story the way they used to. It really is like if you don't know the team, you'll get to learn about them. And personally, I like the lines were great.
What about the Chargers?
Well, the year they did the Chargers, it was Chargers and Rams, and it was entertaining enough. I'll tell you what, man. When you saw Herbert throw that ball during Hard Knocks, I said, this guy's good. He was a rookie that you'd never heard of. I was like, this guy's great.
Cool. I'd watch anything else, but I will watch the Jets because I'm a Jet fan. I wouldn't watch the Ravens. I wouldn't care what the Ravens are doing.
Okay, so
or the Commodores or whatever Julia's team is these days.
So you're saying 8 for the Jets and 0 for everybody else?
Maybe a 1 or a 2, but nothing real.
Fair enough. Next story. They have now come up with...
Can you stop running the water? Jesus.
Wait, you don't pay for it.
Not about the money. It's about the... I'm off for toots. Good God. Scared me.
We're at the point now...
That attitude? I got attitude, right?
We're at the point now where apparently cultivated chicken is on the rise. Like they figured out a way to make fake chicken and they're going to start manufacturing this and selling in the stores. What are your thoughts on that? Like fake chicken, but it's not going to be plant-based. They're basically like breeding the meat or something. I couldn't follow the story.
I don't get it. He just says bugs. I don't have a clue what you just said. Cultivated chicken? Like I know what all those words mean, but not in that order.
Growing chicken in a lab and selling in a store.
But not live chickens. They're just growing like meat.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Okay.
My first thought, also don't like it. My second thought is, well, let's have other people eat this for a couple of years, and then if it makes everything else cheaper, because of course your biological footprint will get carbon footprint will get way better if we have less killing of animals.
Yeah.
Exactly. And for humanes, it would be right. But I do think this is like kind of the submarine going to see the Titanic. I don't want to be on the first ship eating cultivated chicken.
Let Steve eat it. He'll eat anything. Eat the fucking rat, kid.
Wait, you're kidding, right? You know he's the pickiest eater in the world?
He's eating rats. He's not that picky.
No, he did. He threw the rat out. He ate the food the rat ate.
Yeah, if you think so. He's essentially Demolition Man. Carne de rata.
Top 5 movie. Mm-hmm. The 3 seashells.
It's like Godfather, Gone with the Wind, Demolition Man. It's like right there. It's all there. So he can eat that.
So the cultivated chicken is this new story. This is one of those, Zach, where, you know, how many times do you and I just kind of throw something out, then the story moves on, and like a month later, people are like, do you know they're selling chickens in the store? And you're like, yeah. I hate to do it, and I actually don't care. Whether it's usually people, my friends that don't listen to the show, and they'll tell me a story, and I go, this was covered on BYD months ago. And they're like, oh, I don't listen to the show. I'm like, well, then you're still late to the party. I don't know what to tell you. And these are only the stories that we choose to talk about.
Yeah, tell me Rosenberg sucks. Just in general.
I saw something else online, and I want you to noodle around this. This is going to be homework. I'm giving you homework.
He doesn't listen. I wonder if he'd be stunned at how much crap he takes on a half-hour basis weekly.
He couldn't care less.
Put me in a text chain with him. I'll make him care.
I'm giving you a homework assignment, and I also will do this. The first one, you don't have to. This is just for anybody on Twitter. I got it said, this random account. It's called Internet Hall of Fame. Shout out to them. They either post pictures of like retweets or just things that have gone viral. 9 out of 10 will make you laugh out loud. Just things you're like, that's really funny. One came up the other day. I forget the word for word, but the synopsis was, if you broke into somebody's house and just needed to do one thing that would torture these people forever, what would it be? And the comments were amazing. What I want you,
Forever?
it
So
was
I
just
have to
one of
do
those,
one thing that would bother them forever?
not forever, just something that you think would. I really want you to think about this because, like, you know what it reminded me of? Did you ever see the Always Sunny, like, second season, where I think it's Charlie and Danny DeVito break into somebody's house and they're sitting there messing things up, and Danny DeVito's sitting there and he just has paper and pen, and they go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm doing this guy's taxes all wrong."
I would do the dirty work. Fish everywhere. The movie Dirty Work, which I loved. Putting fish everywhere. I did that, by the way, when we trashed the Sard house. We put tuna fish in their radiator. Oh, yeah, that cooks up nice. My idea.
No, there's so many things you could do. I know, like, the first thing that comes in my head is the take one battery out of the remotes, but you just go get more batteries. Like, anything I could think
I
of
stole
today.
Eric, your boy's remote one time for 5 days, and I messengered it to his office in pieces.
You could go get a new
True
remote.
story.
There's ways now that you can fix this. I want you to think about this and get back to me because I think you could come up with some really good ones.
I would do the fish in the radiator. It's nasty. And then, like, if you do it in winter, it just continuously smells of fish. And then the radiator goes on, it's cooking.
Speaking of which, early candidate for Pishadoo of the week, I made tuna melts tonight for dinner in the toaster oven. As I pull the thing out, one of them just flips upside down in the toaster oven. There's tuna everywhere.
You walked away, didn't you? Pishadoo with you for walking away.
Best way to get it out is I just keep turning toast on and just burning it. And just burn. I mean, smoke everywhere in the house right now. Long Branch might be on fire. I did it.
These things happen. Wait, Shelby's in Vegas? Have some of that, the yellow and the blue.
Hey, Zach, feeling jerky? Give me some quirky.
Yeah, Shelby, how's it going? Are you a good gambler? He's always been gambling.
Andrew's good.
Is he? When does he play? By go.
Blackjack. He probably dabbles with the let it ride bullshit.
So, your favorite words? You were wrong.
Oh,
I know, right?
Oh.
Who's taking over Wheel of Fortune?
It's Seacrest.
I know, not his daughter. And now Vanna's lawyering up apparently because she's not coming with a deal necessarily. She doesn't know, and she makes a stupid amount of money apparently. Yeah.
You know she was in Playboy. You ever see her back in the day?
Yeah. Better now.
I agree. Yeah.
Like she was so 80s back then.
She was dime a dozen back then.
But,
now
like,
it's
she
like,
was,
wow.
Big hair and like interesting up here too. So that was the 80s. So you're in the physical therapy world, in theory, right?
I'm a doctor. Yeah.
All right. Are pickleball injuries on the rise?
Pickleball is the fastest growing sport. Ask Neuron.
I'm aware that it's the fastest growing sport. Are pickleball injuries on the rise? Because apparently,
as proportional to pickleball, no. As proportional to more people are playing, so more people getting injured, 1,000%.
Insurance companies are getting crushed on their bottom line, apparently, because of pickleball. It's also a new amenity for buildings, which makes it very hard to insure. Apparently, pickleball injuries are running rampant in this country.
Because it's an old person sport, and people are not equipped to play this.
So there's also it's got me because we haven't done this. I don't know. There's been a week or whatever. Hunter Biden kicked out of a sex club for groping people, grabbing people's asses. Is that what you do at a sex club?
He has
what are the rules
right now?
I'm aware he's had problems, but like, what are the rules of the sex club? No one's invited me. No invite.
So the time that I went, the first rule was is you have to, if it's not your woman, you have to ask permission. Okay. And as far as going in, it's
permission
you have
to Julia grant.
Okay, I've never been. I've only seen it on like CSI. I know nothing about sex clubs. Usually there's murders that are involved because it's on CSI.
Or because it's Hunter Biden.
The Hunter Biden thing is getting weird, but now he's getting in trouble because apparently he wrote off business expenses for said prostitutes. It's getting so weird, man. And come on, man.
A restaurant in California.
Oh!
$70,000. I think something of yours?
Mine's 140.
Is it 140 now? They're going up? The Fake Priest?
Yes!
The Fake Priest is fabulous. They hired a fake priest to get sin confessions from workers. It's top-notch theater. Heard about that on the New York One show.
The people gave in. They're like, yes, I've been stealing from this. I've been doing for this. There's $140,000. Zach, that was my silver medalist. That was my gold medalist, Pishadoo, up until about an hour ago.
There's a pod of... There's like some Dutch race. It was a sailing race, and a pod of orcas attacked sailboats from the Dutch team and got them like disqualified. Speaking of the Dutch team, do you hear the Dutch hurdle lady. You see her?
Oh.
They were in some like Olympic style games team, and two of the players hurdlers got injured, and if they didn't finish the hurdles, they would have been disqualified from the whole thing. Their shot put woman steps up. She's like 9 feet tall, and everyone else. She lost by 19 seconds. 19 seconds. You
That's
just see
a lot
her,
of furlongs.
like barreling through these hurdles, but like she just stepped up. The video is hysterical. I mean, I'm sure she's great at shot put and could probably still beat me at the hurdles, but still.
Did you have to do hurdles in middle school growing up?
Yeah,
or
I
no?
wasn't terrible actually.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I had good timing, but if I clipped one, I ate it. There was no more helpless feeling than clipping a hurdle, because it's going down, you're going down, the race is ending for you, and it's just you immediately eat
Everybody's
ground.
looking at you.
You immediately eat ground. Like you don't have time or like balance to do anything. Your foot is like clipped into the thing, and it's like when they fall on Family Guy, they just get folded immediately. The thing is over. What else do I have? There was another one. It's not loading. Here it comes. Did you hear about the Fox News janitor or whatever? Not Fox News. It's a janitor at a lab.
Yes, I did.
You heard about him in Troy, New York? He damaged $1 million worth of scientific stuff in a freezer.
25 years of research down the tube because the refrigerator was making too much noise.
He didn't read the note. There was like a note about it though. Like, don't turn off fridge. And he's like, it's making a lot of noise. I turned it off. The whole thing, years and $1 million of the stuff down the drain.
And do you know what the company they're suing? Not him. They are suing his company for not adequately training
Geico Cleaning Services.
Yeah, that's really funny.
What are you going to get out of those guys? What are you going to get from the cleaning company?
I assume a lot. I'm sure they have insurance.
For that?
They got stuff. I don't know.
Then you know what? I'm telling my boss of the sewer cleaning company, we'll all go split ski. Why not? And she broke the coffee machine, so here's $1 million.
Speaking of which, we're watching. It's jumping the shark here. We're watching a show the other day, and the phrase "Jewish lightning" comes on, and it's just one of those that I turn and I go,
"In what is the context?"
Exactly what you think. There's a hole in the wall, and they go, "What's that from?" And the guy goes, "I think Jewish lightning." And I knew Julia had no idea, so I usually do this. Hey, what does Jewish lightning mean? And she goes, I don't know. Why don't you tell me? And
I've told you my Jewish lightning story, right? About the buildings.
I got time.
All right. So I used to work with this small landlord. He had 2 buildings in Soho and like 1 building uptown. And it was like 67 and 71 Thompson or whatever it was, something like that. And I'm calling him. He's like not answering for a while. And then I see that these 2 buildings burned down. So, but the one in the middle, totally unharmed. Somehow, fire in 2 buildings with the one between them. These are like little walk-ups. And no injuries and minimal damage. Somehow everyone knew to get out of the building. And then it turns out, getting divorced. So, like, you can't prove it, but he's running through there with a torch and cutting wires. Yeah, he's getting divorced. I met the wife, too. Fur boots, the whole bit, the big lips. She's getting divorced, and he torched his 2 buildings because the one in the middle, not even like a singe on it, nothing. The other 2 just torched.
We have in our family, my mom's second cousin basically had the same thing where it was his personal home, where the weird part is they live on this street with like very modest houses. Jewish lightning, where the dog died. So that's one of those like, oh no, like something really went wrong. Okay. And I think that was their way of being like, no, we lost a dog. This was for real. They rebuilt this massive house on. It's just one of those, Zach, if I drove you down this street and I said, pick out the one that went up in flames that was rebuilt, you'd be like, the monstrosity the right
one
there.
On 3 lots.
Yeah. I'm beginning to see a lot of houses down here. Let's just call them blue-collared people I go see. And they're in these architectural, just behemoth type of places. Just beautiful. And I go, how long have you lived there? Like, we've been down here living the ocean for about 22 years. I'm thinking like, what did you do for work? Like in my head, how could you afford this? And they go, I was a teacher and he was an accountant and I'm still befuddled. And I go, and this house is, they go, oh no, it got knocked down in Sandy. We rebuilt it. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. There's a lot of those. Keep going. You got anything
Yeah.
more?
Oh, I think that's it for me. That's all I got. It's Jewish lightning and all those nonsenses. I think I'm done. I think I've blown my load.
Hey, Zach, what you watching?
The the night agent. We just finished. Not the night shift.
Night Asian.
Him too. He's good.
How many episodes in are you?
We finished. We're
Okay.
done.
This was one of those that was suggested to me by Shelby, and I didn't even bring it up on the podcast because it was so bad.
So that's the thing with it. I found that the show was compelling and goofy and interesting, and I said to shit, you would. So I found that the show was compelling and fun and interesting and a total roller coaster, which you saw.
It's been done. Everything that show's been done.
Now I said to Jenna, like, as far as the lead actress, I go, like, I guess she's pretty and makes it work, but like, she can't act. And Jenna goes, "What?" I go, "Watch her. She just can't act. She has no idea how to act." And then the rest of it, she's like, "Yeah, like she's good enough, but like needs to take acting lessons." She's like the girl in Barry, but like the character she's playing, like not quite good. Maybe probably best in her little local acting class, being taught by the Fonz, but not like ready to carry this show.
There's another season, I think. I think it's getting another one.
Yeah, I don't know how they make that happen. It was so contrived. The roller coaster is wildly unbelievable. And the show, yeah, it was interesting and fun, but like the plot nosedives. The vice president's in on it. The daughter, it's chaos, but it was fun. It was mindless. And we just, because we're really late to the game, binged the Book of Boba Fett, and then we just started a new Mandalorian season.
I'm not a Star Wars nerd. Sorry.
Cool. What are you watching there, fun boy?
We watched a movie. I think it's on Hulu. Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
It's good?
It is. No, but it's my glory hole.
I like it.
It's an hour and a half you won't want back, but it's
Perfect.
like a B+. Do you know what it's about?
No, I've seen ads for it.
It is literally the story of how Flamin' Hot Cheetos became, but they just make it into a movie where I'm not giving anything away. Some asshole janitor who works at the company who goes home and his kids put spicy shit on his Cheetos. He's like, we should do this at the factory. And then that's it. Like,
so he's the opposite of the janitor that got fired from the lab.
Yeah, this janitor saved everything. The story is heartwarming. It's one of those that Julia started.
Who plays the janitor? Is it Luis Guzman? Because if it is, I'm in.
It should have, but he's got a great stash the whole time because the real guy had that. She started watching it where I said I don't care, and then I had to go like change the laundry or something. I go hit pause. I actually want to see what happens with this. And then when her brother came up this weekend, we watched the whole thing. It's very watchable.
Brother?
The younger one.
Okay.
And
Go
his
Dogs.
new piece. So his younger girlfriend. I forgot about this.
Younger girlfriend. He's like 24. What is she? 11?
No, he's almost 30. I think he's 30 this year.
Looks good.
So we're sitting on the couch talking. The girl is as sweet as pecan
like
pie.
Bolo Yang.
Bolo Yang. So we're sitting there and we're talking about beer and craft beer and this and that. And she's so nice. And she turns and she goes, "Oh, well, when y'all come down to Atlanta, you got to bebop around some of our local bars." And I just looked at her square in the eye. I was like, "Yeah, I haven't bebopped in a while." And Julia, you could just hear her being like, "Motherfucker, he's not going to let this one go."
Love to bebop. Invite? Ooh, I want to go to Atlanta and bebop.
She was a sweetheart. I actually do hope to bebop around with her a little bit more.
Oh.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos, though. Why don't I remember them growing up? I remember the Andy Capp's hot fries.
Those were good.
Yeah, I don't. With the guy with the paperboy hat.
Yeah, he was good.
Do you remember Flamin' Hot Cheetos?
Yeah,
because
do.
everybody does. I don't. I remember. I feel like I heard of them for the first time.
They weren't that hot though, but still.
8 years ago, maybe.
Really?
Yeah,
they're new in Baltimore. Yeah.
Pishadoo of the week. We've hit a couple of them. I have, I think, 8 candidates here. Candidate number 1. Did you see the Colorado Rockies got an ass whooping the other day?
Ooh, hello.
I forget the final. It was 24-0 at one
25-1.
point. Did you know that
Eduardo
during
Escobar
that
got 2
game,
hits. Yeah, I knew.
during that game, there is some like rule exception, part B, page this, that you always have the option to go, we forfeit, and you lose 9-0 and the game's over.
Mercy rule?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
It came up. I don't know how it played into that. Yeah, we had one of those the other day. Both my sister and my mom didn't do Guess Who Died. They just go, "Hey, Shelley Fine died." I'm like, "Oh my god, you could know Guess Who Died?"
Who's Shelley Fine? I missed
Nobody special. Candidate number 2, local Washington Heights softball player gets
Oh.
hit in the nuts, not once, but twice, playing
Oh.
co-ed softball, playing catcher.
It
How
wasn't
the
co-ed.
hell?
It wasn't co-ed. It was all dudes.
How do I hear about this from other people and you don't tell me about getting hit in the nuts?
I just told you earlier.
Why are you playing catcher?
We often had to catch for an inning. So we were essentially everyone rotated. So it was my inning to catch. And they throw one in. It's overhand. So it comes a little faster. It's that league. And the guy swings and misses. And I'm not expecting a swing and miss. And it just it catches everything.
The first time.
The first
now
time.
It happened.
The twig and the berries. The second one.
You got the beans above the Frank?
Yeah, it did. It was the exact joke I made. The second time it happened, it was sort of a curve, and I went to get it, and the batter, they throw not Peronis. And it I went down. They swung half-heartedly. I lost the ball. It hit off my foot and kept me on the uptick.
Oh, from the grundle.
Yeah, no, it caught the ball, and I just keeled over again. The whole diamond is dying at this point.
I try to be a mature person.
That wasn't even the funniest. It sucked, but that wasn't even the line of the day because Eric, your boy, who was also there, went to field a ground ball like this, put his hand in first, hit his finger, it blew up and wouldn't stop bleeding. And the guy who was playing first on our team goes, "I guess you got stigmata." I fell down. I go, you know what? Whatever I have to say isn't going to be funnier than that. Meanwhile, I would hope to break his balls. I've known him 100 years. This guy's made him 5 times because he's got stigmata.
He's the new Zach.
Dying. Oh, yeah. This guy, I'll call him Sean Gannon. Hysterical.
I don't know what it's going to take for me to mature in my life. Maybe the kid will help. Somebody get hit in the nuts is the funniest thing in the world. I don't know why.
And you keel over like in The Simpsons. Oh, my girl. It's great. I dropped twice. What's to make you mature? This is a middle-aged guys league. There were 20 people on the field and 19 were laughing. It's nothing makes you mature. I got shit for that all day, and then the next game too, I was catching crap for it. Then it's like, "Hey Zach, you want to catch again?" I'm like, "No."
Don't get hit in the nuts.
So then there was a joke. We have a mask. He goes, "Where do you want to wear it this time?" So there it is. Yeah, it was one of those things because we play around 20 people. You have to catch one guy has to catch each inning. You take a turn. I got the shit kicked out of me that inning.
Candidate number 3, Antonio Brown. I don't know if you've been following, but he bought into an arena league football something, and of course there's the chance of he might play. So his players are suing him. So that's when I had to click the link. He revoked their paychecks from their last game or two, where he paid them and then took the money back.
What?
Yeah, weird. It's getting to the point you're like, that's really weird. Taking their money back? Yeah. Next candidate. There's all these new weight loss drugs. I don't know if you've heard about Ozempic, but it came out now. There's Eli Lilly is making some drug, which I didn't write down the name, where it's going to help
Jaro. My mom was talking about investing in it.
Clinical trials, 36 weeks, you lose 10 to 15 pounds. Side effects, nausea, vomiting, constipation. Aren't they just basically making people just puke out the calories or make them... that doesn't sound worth it to me.
I mean, the classics never die. The results are there. It's essentially a pill version of bulimia.
To be nauseous and constipated and vomit? I don't know about you.
Keeping the calories in. I want it flowing out.
When I have either of those 3 sensations, I'm just sitting there going, "Please, dear Lord, make me a bird so I can fly far, far, far away." I don't want to feel like this ever again.
What the hell was that?
Forrest Gump?
That's your accent?
No, it's Jenny. It was the...
That's terrible. Not that hers was great either, but it's... nevertheless.
Man. Next candidate I had
was... My mom invests in it. They can come out of any orifice they want if we make a little coin.
Taqueria Priest was something I wanted to talk about.
Taqueria Priest is excellent.
I don't know if I ever brought this up back in the day, but I meant to. Did we talk about Korea changing their age requirements? It's going official, I think, tomorrow. What? They are now starting that you turn age 0 after 365 days on Earth. So basically everybody in South Korea is going to shave 1 year off their life, where the drinking age goes from 20 to 19, which that was also a little bit of a surprise to me there.
Baseball. It's like Dominicans been doing this for years.
Albert Pujols is 60 years old.
He came up at 40. When he came up at 21, I looked at my buddy at the couch like, "That's a grown man. That is not 21." He's just mashing.
Isn't this a weird thing that's this is going to be like when you get a shoe. Remember you used to say US 9, UK 8. okay, in Korea, so when I go there and they ask me how old I am, I just be like, I'm 38. Like, it's just a stupid thing. Why change it now? I don't get it.
Yeah. You doing it in North Korea too, or just South?
I don't know. I don't. The woman who plays Dora on the show, I think the show's been canceled. She will be starting her own OnlyFans now.
Ooh, I'm in.
Tanya Sazulis, me chichis.
Yeah, all that.
She didn't make enough money.
I don't know what
Come
the
on.
contract was. What do I care?
Come on. All the money, the syndication, come on.
Whatever, man. Like, man, I love any. We went over this. I love any celebrity meltdown, porno, throw stuff out windows, getting arrested. Give me all of it.
Okay. I think that's going to ruin that.
I actually have no idea what Dora looks like in real life. Is she cute?
Yeah, you would.
Like the cartoon Dora or the Dora movie girl?
No, the woman who does the voice of Dora is...
No clue what she looks like. She could be the same person who's the maid in Family Guy. Mr. Superman, though, here. Like, I have no clue which Dora looks like.
Here you go.
Love it. What's she holding?
I think it's a bottle. No, it's a bottle of some type of alcohol. The voice actress. Okay. Next one may be me.
Why is she a Pishadoo? Because she wants to show off her chichis? It's fine.
I'm at a patient's house the other day, and it's a nice... My patient, it's a longer story, but basically, my patient, she's in her 50s, 60s. She's a very petite little woman. Her daughter, who's getting graduated from high school. Her daughter's graduating from high school, and she's sitting there, and she's walking around. She's wearing this nice blue outfit, and she's like, oh, I was going to wear this, but I think I need to change. And the daughter's just being real bitchy towards her, right? And I sit there, and we start talking. And I want to tell the story about when I went to that one wedding, and another girl wore white. So I go, you know what? Nowadays, people wear anything. I went to a wedding where a girl wore white, and the mom turns to me and goes, see, some people can wear white to a thing. And the daughter goes, you fucking slut, then don't come to my graduation. And they start screaming at each other. And dude, this daughter was so mean to her. And I'm just saying the whole time, I go, I did that. I did that.
Wait, like, she called her mom a slut?
Oh, she said it was definitely horror or something like that.
I mean, it was hot?
Nah. It was really bad, but I'm just saying the whole time going like, I thought the dress in question was the blue one. Apparently the mom wanted to wear a white one, and I just brought up the topic of white dress. And I was standing there in the middle of a living room where this daughter is laying into her mother.
You just threw a grenade.
It was so bad. It was so bad. I guess I just need a way to bring that up. And my favorite story of the week, which I just heard about an hour before we went live. There is a gentleman, Iranian man, who is a dead ringer for Lionel Messi. Let me just show you the picture. This is not Lionel Messi. That is the dead ringer who has been going around calling himself Messi, banging everything in sight. And the women...
Why?
Oh, I'm glad we brought this up. Is he the Pishadoo, or are the women the Pishadoo for sleeping with a guy who thought they were Lionel Messi?
Nobody is. Good for the world.
Oh, they're very mad. The women are very upset. They're like, they said, and I quote, if they knew who he wasn't who he was, they would not have slept with him.
Then they're just thirsty for... They're a star fucker, literally. Good for him.
Rockies get their ass kicked. Zach gets kicked in the balls by a ball.
Kicked in the...
Antonio Brown gets sued.
Who told you? Was it Fleischer? Was it Shaq, George? Who's yapping here?
It's your boy, Eric. Eli Lilly's drug, Taqueria Priest. We got Dora the Explorer. Korean changing age, and Messi and the white dress fiasco. Who is the Pishadoo of the week?
I like the white dress fiasco. I don't know if you're a Pishadoo there. I think the answer is the Taqueria Priest. Or the owners of the Taqueria. I don't know. I love that story. I was rolling when I heard that on the news, and I had to go look it up online. It was hysterical.
Boozer Daddy, the podcast. Thanks for listening.
Zoe gambling, me subjecting her to the track. You teased it with the money.
Next week, because my baby is being a nightmare right now, I got to get upstairs.
Bring us all up there.
Crying. Hey, speaking of things in my neighborhood, Gordon Ramsay was just in town doing one of those kitchen nightmares in my town. You want to go see that restaurant?
Yeah. Is that the one where that guy's giving you free food?
We out. It's not.